Hey there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to you. Today, yesterday we had Self Cara on with us, and she was mentioning how one of the things that led her to finally take her own self care seriously was the diagnosis of her partner with a sinus cancer. And I don't know the full terms of that, but I know that some of you were going, oh, wait a minute. So we heard from Kara, but so, and we will be chatting about how does he love himself daily with a diagnosis like cancer. And I have invited him. Let's see, maybe we were chatting earlier about making this happen, and it takes a little bit to get all of the pieces in place. And oh, yeah, as Bert and Kara are. Hey, Bill, nice to see you. Uh, they're a really solid group and really, or couple, really impactful in the community of dance, which is where I met them. And so having them have this big thing happen has been impactful, to say the least. And Bert has always been just so solid and caring, and his energy has always been really really good. I know that there was a period of time where there was some trauma around certain men were not being appropriate with women on the dance floor, and so they created groups of women and men to talk about that, and then came together, and I believe Bert was one of the calmer heads around that, and definitely never inappropriate on the dance floor. Let's see, where are you? Can you not find me? Come to my wall. Come to my wall. Let's see. I have invited you. I actually have Facebook up on my computer as well. This is kind of funny, actually. Yeah, so there I am, and that's a little delayed. I've I've never done that. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, let's come back. So how am I loving myself today? Well, we're waiting for Bert to join us. So, oh, and there he is. Awesome. Approve. Yes, bring Bert on camera. Distracting me moving at different levels. Okay, Bert, welcome, welcome. It's basically adding you, and there you are. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You hear me okay? But I'm excited to spend some time with you. It's good to see you, darling.
Yeah, you as well. Um, so of course, um, yesterday we talked with Kara,
Yeah.
and you know that your diagnosis is really one of the things that finally got her to take her self-care seriously, and and how actually absolutely wonderful you have been with helping her with that in spite of what's going on with you.
Mm.
And I know that I know that this is not an easy thing for you. So what would you like to share of your journey, and and definitely, I mean, the container is how do I love myself today? So how do you love yourself daily with a diagnosis like cancer? And I know some days you probably don't, because some days I don't love myself and I come on here anyway and say, I'm not loving myself today. I don't feel like loving myself today.
Yeah.
And yet,
Um, well, the real sea change in my life was uh, when I got sober um, in 2004, and it was the whole process of recovery is about removing whatever's between you and connection to something greater than yourself, a higher power. Um, I loosely use the word God, but it could be anything that you talk about that is non-human.
yeah.
And so like even just the notion of spirit, like if you take the idea of team spirit let's just start with that. It's just that feeling that you get that you are a part of when you are in amongst others that are cheering something that you believe in, something that you agree with, something that you resonate with, even if it's terribly sad and frustrating and disappointing. You're a part of something greater, and that is beyond human. It is made up very much of humans, but there's more. And I use that as a very simple but uh, uh, I can apply that analogy loosely to everything. There's spirit everywhere, and so when people talk about the divine or a god or witchcraft or uh, even work, the family units at work that are striving so hard to do something great and produce something beautiful and amazing, that's all spirit. Um, and what I've come to believe, my own personal opinion, is that spirit is infinite. The spirit is you can't. Spirit is so beyond anything that we can define or restrict or limit that uh, we get to apply definitions and limitations and restrictions as much as we want, and spirit doesn't care.
Yeah.
So, um, so for me, that has been fueling my life experience now for close to 15 years. And in that way, my spirit is well taken care of. I am absolutely okay. Uh, I am connected to something that accepts me and loves me and uh, is it's benevolent. I assign a benevolence to it.
Yes.
But it's interesting because benevolence is a human characteristic. It's a human trait that we're associating to this infinite thing. So
In order
I
to
choose that.
understand. Yeah. In order to
Well, yeah,
understand.
yeah, 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 and that's like part of the an amazing woman that I met at a monastery once said that religions are spiritual grade school. They're just giving us the
Yeah.
very, very basic beginning uh, letters and phrases and vocabulary and comprehension in order to just start having a discussion about the infinite
Absolutely.
and how what folly it is for us to imagine that we can fully encapsulate the infinite into a book that may be even like this big. But I mean,
Or an encyclopedia, a library of books.
yeah, right. Or that the sum total of all humans that have had mystical or spiritual experiences together is it. No, no, it's infinite. It goes way
Infinite.
beyond that.
Yep.
So we're just
Infinite.
like starting, we're just scratching the surface on what might be possible. So the to another part of it is that spirit was light, love, um,
Mm,
is 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 fundamentally loving. It's
yeah.
creative in force. And so that's
Absolutely.
another easy way for me to relate to spirit nature. Mother Nature is spirit in manifest, right? All she does is just create and destroy for the sake of giving life.
Yeah.
This is the circle of life. Go back to Lion King and everything that was in the Lion King movie was all about spirit. My God, right? He's being
Yep.
talked to by the spirit of his father, and in spite of uh, Mufasa being just like this heinous uncle, with evil
Right.
and corruption and all this stuff going. He's just part of spirit. I mean, great.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
overall thing,
we're in
you end up with that.
duality on this plane. We're in duality on this plane. So yeah, there has to be
Right.
the shadow as well as the light. I wanted to quick say hi to Lori and let's see, Eloy.
Hi, Lori. Hi, Mark.
Oh,
And
okay, the
everyone
Mark.
else. Eloy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Um, so anyway, long story short, that was instrumental in me having enough within myself to be present for myself and for others. Now, that said, life is hard. Life in this society and this culture is complicated. I mean,
Complicated. Yes.
take a quick lightning poll of all of your friends and see how many of them have really got the tax code down, right?
uh,
Let's just or let's just think about the taxes that you're paying on your grocery bill. What is that all? Break that down, and what is that all serving? Does everybody know all of this stuff? No, it's just way
I
too
don't know
complicated.
anyone that does. I'm sure there is someone out there that does, but I certainly don't.
Sure, sure. And that's going to be the experts, right? And God bless them if they followed their passion and they were, in second grade and they're like, I want to learn the tax code, and they did, and they're just living in bliss and love and enjoy because they get to do that their entire day and they get to be compensated for it because, people appreciate their talent and knowledge and expertise and experience. Um, as opposed to the artist who's doing something else. And
Right.
unfortunately, we don't value that artistry as much as we do the accountant or the businessman or the entrepreneur.
Right.
Anyway, so I know our time is short. I get so excited about this because
Well,
um,
I'd love for you to if you're open to being a regular guest, and you're now
sure.
yeah and we can follow your
I'm
journey.
talking to Gwen.
Hey, Kara.
Kara just came back with Kahlo. I'm sorry, I'm picking my nose because it's numb. My
Yeah.
nose is all numb. I can't feel.
Well, yeah. Do
Thank
you
you.
want to
I would love to
share?
keep talking with you.
Yeah, yeah. Do you want to share a little bit about
Oh, there you are.
yeah, somebody hopped in and it took me to
Yeah, yeah.
Messenger instead of swiping away. Yeah, so if you could share, because I know Kara shared a little bit about what your cancer is and what your so if you could share what it is, what's your prognosis, and then we can talk spirit and how things are progressing for you and the uh, your journey. If you'd like to share your journey and come on a regular basis and because I know
Thank
that
you.
people want to know how are you doing and if they're having a loved one that's in some kind of challenge, a similar challenge, that what maybe a different way of dealing with it than what they're experiencing, that there are options. So yeah, we still have a
Oh
little
boy.
time.
Thank you. Well, I was diagnosed with nasopharyngeal carcinoma. Nasopharyngeal is the location, as I understand it.
Yep.
Carcinoma is the type of cancer it is, as opposed to any other type of cancer cell. Um, it was also associated with Epstein-Barr virus. My understanding
Right.
is that,
I remember that.
there's a I won't, there are so many different ways of looking at this, and there are so many ways of trying to address it, but um, I had to actually come to clarity for myself that um, so much of the information that's coming out now is having to deal with cancer prevention, and that's
Right.
very different than once you have cancer, because
Right.
I half jokingly say to myself, it's like, some people are concerned about me. I'm headed to get a PET scan and a CT scan in
Yeah.
just about an hour. And people are concerned that I'm going to be irradiating myself. And I'm like, well, the fact is, I've already got cancer. You
Right.
know, so if cancer is produced by, in part, the presence of radiation or some type of mutation that's changing our cells, um, some people are also associating cancer creation with the presence of viruses, which are virulent, right? They're trying to grow as much as possible.
Right.
And so as you have something that's rapidly replicating, such as a virus, and a potential mutation from radiation or a toxin, then you're increasing your chances of producing a cancer cell, which is something that is a normal cell that happens to have some breakdown in its DNA so that it stops dying and it just keeps growing. Um, in addition, another component that many are finding is that you might have a depressed immune system, because if our immune system is working well, then it's constantly ridding our bodies on an ongoing basis without us doing anything extra
Yep.
of whatever it can, whether it's toxins
It does
or
its job.
right, it does the job.
Yep.
But stress is going to lower our immune system.
Yeah.
Poor diet is going to lower our immune system. Um, if we've been eating a poor diet over any portion of our lifetime, our intestinal tract is like 75, 80% of our immune system.
Yeah.
But if we've been coating that with sedimentary layers of gunk from all the stuff that we've been eating
Yeah.
in our past history, then that's going to block our digestive tract from absorbing nutrients,
Yep.
and it's going to impede its ability to, protect us from
Yeah. And it
harmful.
can yeah retoxify you, and also toxic relationships as well.
Yeah, right.
Even
Exactly,
in the
exactly,
past,
and
you may be in a
exactly.
good one now, but there might be a past relationship that's still clinging to you as well.
That's right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and it's in our system, and we haven't cleared it out. And all of these things are contributions.
Yeah.
Are you hearing that? Do I need to close the door?
I'm not hearing that. I do want to say a quick hi to Michael. Michael's with us, as well as Jolene, who's praying for your healing, and she's really great
Thank
at
you.
praying. And prayer is powerful, and yeah, we'll take that. We'll actually go ahead and add. Are you okay with her adding you to her prayer list?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
with you
you.
and your
Thank
church,
you.
yeah, that would be great, Jolene. Thank you so much for your love and your prayers.
Thank you. Um, so, uh, talking about complicated uh, lives in society, once I was diagnosed, they did a biopsy, and uh, UCSD was ready. They were like, "Hey, right now we can schedule you for chemo in October and radiation in November." But it took all up until just 2 weeks ago, mid October, for me to get Medi-Cal coverage.
Right.
And I could go into the details of that, but man, that was just this
Not today.
slow, yeah, it's just slow molasses of working through bureaucracy.
And it
And
gave you a lot of
this,
opportunity to find alternatives as well.
it did. And that's like a whole nother thing. God, I wish I could say, here's an answer.
Yeah.
As it is today, you know, I'm uh, I'm astounded at how, in my lifetime, life has turned into a whole lot of pills.
I
And I'm
know.
not just talking about the capsules. I'm talking about the way in which we look at solving aspects of life with some neatly encapsulated, tidily, attractively packaged solution. And that's not always the case. Like
Yeah.
case in point, when UCSD said, "Hey, we've got this solution for you," I said, "Well, is there anything else I need to change in my life?" And they're like, "No, there's
We'll
nothing
just
you
cut
need
it
to
out,
change. Just come
radiate
on
you.
in. We'll just take care of it for you." And I was like, "Wow, that's incredibly convenient and so handy." I don't have to change a thing, which in a lot of ways is lovely because I could just keep eating the way I want. I could walk or not the way I want. I could sit on my ass or not. Um, I didn't have to change my fuel consumption. Any of that, it's just like, um, and yet, what all the rest of my research showed me is that, so many different aspects of my life really do matter, especially diet, uh, and um, and my care and knowledge of my lymphatic system, for example. How am I caring for that?
Yeah.
So to bring it all the way full circle to your original question about self-care, um,
And self-love.
and self-love, do I well, this I'm gonna throw in my my most valued aspect of life, and that's trust.
Mm.
Um, so for myself, back in my own personal journey, my self-love and self-care had everything to do with trust in myself. I had to trust that I was going to follow through and go work out or get up and do my dishes, which I didn't always do. I was gonna, or like, some of the disciplines that have been coming up, like,
Yeah.
if you wanna, if you, the number one thing you should do if you wanna have a good day is to make your bed. Which totally makes sense to me, but I wasn't that great at it. But if I trusted myself to do that, and I showed that, and I demonstrated myself to doing that, then wow, what a lovely thing. I'm caring for myself. Meditation or yoga or something like that, or getting to work on time. Oh, there's a simple one, right? Just keeping up with your business agreements. Hey, I'm going to be there at 10:30. Be there on time. Be
Right.
trustworthy. Um, or I'm not going to make it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna follow through. I'm gonna contact you and tell you.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah. I think some people, it's like, well, if I'm not going to make it, what's the point? And instead of,
yeah, it's
it's
not
like,
that
well,
big a deal.
if you can't follow your word is still valid if you call and say, I'm not going to be able to make the time that I agreed.
Right,
Let's
right,
reschedule.
right,
It's one of those things. And I do have a client in 2 minutes. So I
right,
would,
right. Okay, okay.
yeah. So
So,
I love that you're loving yourself through learning to trust yourself.
yeah,
That's huge because that's integrity. And
right,
that's actually how I'm loving myself today too, is stepping up to some of my business agreements that I
yeah.
have. Um, I mean, there's a lot that I can offer. And I mean, you've experienced some of what I do. And I I keep playing small and hiding because I don't trust
Mm.
myself to step out. And
I understand, but there's the other part of it. It's
so
like
today I'm trusting myself. Go ahead.
yeah, as you allow yourself to be seen and known with people that are trustworthy, then they can support you and share about you, and this is community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I'm stepping out.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I know you have so much to offer. I will do all I can to support you with that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and I'd love to have you as a regular guest that we can talk
Thank you.
spirit and diet and whatever's happening and self-love.
Thank you. Thank you. I would
Yes.
love that.
Blessings to you, lots of prayers. Um,
Thank
I'm excited for your healing and I'm grateful that you'll allow me to be part of your journey and give Kara a big squeeze.
you. I will. I
All
will.
right.
Blessings. Thanks again.
Blessings. All right,
Bye.
everybody. Now that we've heard from Bert, I'm going to just say, have an amazing day. And now you go love yourself. Take care.